Pregame.tv breaking down Week 1 NFL regular season action. We're going to talk about this is your lines report, not necessarily who's going to win or cover. We're going to talk about which way these lines are going to go ahead and move on several of the games. I'm going to throw these out. I'm going to pass it to my crack panel here. We're going to start New England, Buffalo, and here's a game where I see the total doing nothing but dropping. Started at 53, it's 52, it's moving lower, and I think recent developments, Kevin Kolb, practice mats, going to another field, slips. He's got an injury. They want the rookie to potentially start for them. New England, Brady, no receivers has any familiarity with. I can't see any way that this can close in the 50s. What do you guys think?
The only way, because we know New England's an over team. I mean, the bettors will bet New England over blindly, pretty much. At home, they'll do it every time. But they'll bet them blindly more or less on the road as well. The first thing casual bettors look to do is bet New England over before they even bet the side, I think. The only thing we know about the NFL is that there's more public money, casual bettors money, than wise guy money. With that said, the only way I could see this number staying where it is or going back in the other direction, because personally I bet it under because you gave it to me right when it went up.
And I think it's going to just I think it's going to keep dropping. The more
my hand itches, I'm going to get money. That's what my mom would say.
You can still get 52.
Yeah, my hand itches. All right. Yeah.
Although I was going to say something.
I bought lottery tickets today to 400 million.
I was going to say something, but I better wait till after.
But you sent it to me as soon as the lines went up, and I bet it, believing that the line was going to go in that direction. The only way I could possibly see it going the other way is if somehow, some way, both these teams light it up in the preseason. Meaning during that dress rehearsal, both these teams score in the 30s. That's the only thing.
And that's an excellent point that we should discuss. Is the critical time is week 3.
Yeah, the dress rehearsal.
During the LVH seminar, you know that you look at that dress rehearsal.
You should come to the LVH seminar.
You see a team look really bad or really good. I remember a Raiders San Diego.
You're speaking at that, right?
If they'll have me. If I believe so.
Nobody's listening, but he's speaking.
What?
They'll let me in.
The Raiders were getting 6.5 against San Diego, and then week 3, San Diego looked good, and the Raiders just looked horrific. You blinked, and that week 1 spread was 10. So it just shows you.
And wasn't it last year, the week 1, the Jets, everyone's betting against them because of how bad they were in the preseason?
Yeah, we all made money on that.
Everyone made money on that. I still remember. I made so much money on that week 1 game.
No,
I still remember.
I had my week 1 game of the year on Buffalo when it was 3.5, and then I played back half on the Jets when it went down.
I still remember.
I took 3.5. It went down to a pick on that.
I still remember
game.
a week game.
I got 3 in the hook on Buffalo.
Good.
Thanks for bringing that up. Like I said, I like to talk about that. But that's still an example. Like if you can make a really good bet, like I don't care if the game goes over.
I understand.
I just know under 52.5, such a good bet. Hey, we'll get rid of it if we want to over 49 after it crashes, more than likely, unless we have like a situation like you described where both teams go nuts. It's true. Buffalo is super high scoring. Brian, where's this total close?
Yeah, and it's not just they score a lot of points. It's how effective the passing game is going to be, because that's really what your concern is right now about New England. He's got no long threat. He's got all these guys that he's not used to passing. Yeah, really. But if he has the ability to move the ball through the air, I'm not as concerned about the running game. But if he can move the ball through the air, then you may see it stay where it is or possibly go up. But if you see him not having a lot of success in the passing game, so whoever sees that's going to bet the under. And so my question to you, Steve, was, are we better off betting it now, or do you think we'll have more value
waiting a little bit
until they play a couple games?
Oh, we got to bet it now because you blink and it's going to be 50. It's one of those things where you sleep and you look at your screen and you're like, oh God, dang it, who's betting this a month ahead of time where you just blink and that happened. We'll talk about that in college football line reports. But let's talk about another game where this comes up also. Kansas City's playing at Jacksonville. Everybody knows Kansas City's going to be a lot better. They're the hot team. They bet the season went up from 6.5 up to 7.5. You got 6 Pro Bowlers. You don't have an idiot coach anymore. You got certainly a serviceable coach. You got a great running back. You got a really good wide receiver. And what's funny is you blink and this line was 2.5. It's not even stopping at 3. It's 3 in Vegas. It's going to 3.5.
Yeah, it's going through.
I say I hate to say you missed the 2.5. I would never say this in the regular season. Go ahead and lay 3. I say go ahead and lay 3. There's no home field advantage for Jacksonville. This has to close 3.5, right?
Jacksonville's a 5-win team, pretty much, right? Kansas City, what, 7.5, 7?
Those are the current numbers, yeah.
Why should they be a 3.5-point road favorite? It's early, but I'm looking at the home dog at this point.
Because each game on a season win mathematically is worth 2.3. So 2.3.
4.6.
4.6 plus another 1.2 is 5.8 on a neutral site. Kansas City should be laying 5.8.
On neutral.
That's where
you don't give.
Yeah, but you're laying over. No, it's not.
The game's in Jacksonville. It's a neutral site.
You don't give them at least a point and a half.
Maybe I'll give them 1.
That's what I give them. Give them 1.5.
If you look at the stats on Jacksonville, they are way better on the road than they're at home.
Right.
They're a terrible home team.
I think they're a 1.5.
I'll give them
Miami's
1.5.
1.5.
I'll give them 1.5 back.
I'll give them 2.
I'll give them 1.5, and I think I'm being generous. They're the London Jaguars. Everyone knows it's a lame duck team that the owner doesn't care about them.
No.
How can the fans be excited? Okay, I know 25,000 people showed up for the first practice, but I think it was bobblehead night or something like that. But the bottom line is you got a team on the come.
Probably used to be alcohol night to get 25,000.
That is so eager to put
Fred
that
Taylor
2
bobblehead
and
night
14 behind them. I really think that this one. In fact, I will say it closes at 4. Dinner bet that this closes at 4?
No, I hope it closes at 4.
I think it will.
And then we can dump it to, and then we can dump or minus.
we know that
we can play +3 plus $1.31.
We know a lot of betting syndicates love home dogs, especially over a field goal home dog. So I could see them getting involved late, but I think the line's going to continue to climb.
Yeah.
When you've got a team, I haven't heard a single person that's bullish on Jacksonville.
Yeah, there's really not much to
You got a team that was terrible last year. Nobody's bullish on them this year. Over the course of the entire season, would you say they're going to have a positive spread record or negative spread record?
I'll say positive on the road, negative at home.
Exactly.
I say
spread's the great equalizer.
Positive overall, because nobody wants any part of it.
Yeah. That's the thing. The worst teams could be great against the spread. That's.
No, because
look at the SEC last year. The best teams ATS were the worst teams.
But the worst
you didn't make money betting Alabama last year.
Yeah, you did. Every year you make money betting Alabama.
ATS-wise.
No, you did 7-6.
Yeah, barely.
6-6 during the regular season.
Yeah.
So you're right. You lost during the regular season.
Exactly.
One more game that I want to talk about with these lines. I'm going to jump down. This one is just an enigma to me. The Giants +3 against the Cowboys. Okay, the 3 is large. It's not completely gone. There's still +3, lay 15, or even you can, if you have to lay $1.20, you can still get that. My perception is that the public certainly knows that this big Dallas Cowboy Stadium, minimal home field, luxury boxes all over the place, costs a lot of money to get in. It's like a little bit of a corporate party, not a true home field like the crazy dog pound fans throwing like cans of Alpo at people and things like that. And they've done very poorly at home versus expectation. The Giants are clearly the better team, and you see that with the season win number. The Giants just below 9. Dallas, they're cutting in line to bet them under 8.5. I think this actually money pours in the Giants. I think it closes pick'em. What do you guys think?
I think with all word out, not just among the professional, the sharp bettors, it's the betting public is now well aware that you fade Dallas at home, ATS. We've known for a long time that there's a premium attached to this team week in and week out, and they're not a good spread team. Even those years that they've done well, as far as straight up wise, they haven't done well for bettors at the betting window. They've just always been that kind of team after the Troy Aikman Super Bowl years, at least. Mm-hmm. So I see the money coming in on the New York Giants. I really do. I don't think Dallas, even being at home at that field goal, which you would think they should have 3 point, for being home, the average more or less 2.5, 3. On a neutral field, this reflects that Giants would be a pick'em or a half-point favorite over them?
That's what they're trying to tell you. And I agree on this one. I think the Giants are going to take money, and I think it's the right side. We just talked about another game. Dallas home field. What do you make Dallas's home field?
That's what I mean. 2.5?
1.5. I mean, they're
1.5.
I would make it 1
because of last year,
no. Let me explain this to you. There's a book out that I've read, Scorecasting. It talks about a lot of things. Why there's a home field advantage.
Right.
A lot of it has to do with the fans being on top of the umpires, the field general, all those guys. People who build huge stadiums. The fans are farther away from the field.
You want to play in a bandbox.
You want to play like we're in New Orleans. That's like fighting in a schoolyard. I've been
Detroit,
in there on a Sunday night game.
Teams.
Pittsburgh, and I've seen the Pittsburgh Steelers actually intimidated. The Steelers, who aren't intimidated, Steeler fans travel. And I witnessed them intimidated on a Sunday night game in New Orleans. That's the kind of stadium that you get home field advantage.
Take a look at college basketball. Who are the teams that have the best home court advantage?
Yeah.
Duke. The fans are right on you. Anybody over in the West Coast, Pepperdine, all those teams, St. Mary's, all these teams that have the small gyms, people right up on you, they have the best home court advantage.
The University of Dayton actually has an arena that goes down into the basement, like down, walk down 40 feet, and it's like it creates so much noise because it's like underground subterranean.
It's like Vanderbilt's basketball team. They built the floor up, so even if you're sitting on the bench, like for example us, we would be sitting on the bench, and this is the court right here. It's just it throws people off.
And the new trend is to put like the logo the entire size of the court, like Oregon with all the trees everywhere, and just because your guys are used to it, and it throws the other team off. And Dallas doesn't have none of that.
None of that.
They got the big scoreboard up above, and the thing was, people said, well, the first time
I'm
people come in,
surprised though you guys make it 1.5, not even a 2.
I think it's one of the worst, especially in division. You take a look. I mean, Philadelphia has done very well in that division. The Giants have done well in division. The only team that doesn't win in that division, Washington's a little bit, but Dallas has never fared that well against division rivals.
Going in the last year, though, what home field advantage did you give them? I mean, was it drastic because of the last year?
You tend to just make it 3-win unless you think about it.
Well,
but
it's
I'm
an
not
lower
giving
building
them anymore. Yeah. So, and obviously, if they're going if Dallas goes 12-2, they're going to have a much bigger home field than if they're 5-7.
Right.
Depending upon how into it the crowd is. Like the Saints lost their home field when they went
last year. A lot of people.
Year.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Well, this has been great discussion on NFL. I'm ready to do some college. Stay with us at pregame.tv. We broke down some NFL Week 1 lines. We're going to talk about some college football Week 1 lines. What we're looking at with some of the line moves. Stay with us. Pregame.tv.